It's on. Our recording's on. So what are we looking at today?
Um, I had a couple. already taken a lot of notes, so I kind of picked up myself a lot. But
Okay.
there were a couple times whenever I was thinking whether or not I should go for the dragon or not.
Mhm.
Um, and then like a couple times where maybe I feel like I maybe missed fight to join a fight bot rather than going topside.
Okay.
Uh,
Sounds good.
and then yeah, just
So
a couple things that I did here where
yeah,
could question why.
sounds good. So yeah, anytime. So the standard jungle decision is always to just full clear, and the only reason why we would ever skip camps to gank is if the gank is like usually like a 70% chancer, right? Like it's like what does a 70% chance gank looks like? This is the line going through, not very straight line. This is the line going directly middle through the map, right? Anytime someone's past this line, like very past this line, it increases the chances they are gankable. So let's say this line's here. If someone is under tower like this, it's probably like an 80% chance gank. If someone's like this, it's like 70%. It's like this, it's like 50, 40, 30, 20. You know, the farther the more pushed up the line, the more gankable they are. The more in the line, the less, right? So when you look bot here, so the line is direct middle of the lane. So that's this from this middle bush like this. So yes, these guys are slightly pushing. Then the next thing to wonder about is the HP. It's how low are they? If they are like past this line and they're 30% HP, then yeah, they're super gankable. If they're past this line and they're 100% HP, then it's not as gankable, right? More other things that matter is the mobility. Is this guy's playing Jinx, and this guy is playing like let's say like Melio, so these are playing two champs that are immobile, no speed ups, no jumps. That also goes into the equation. Their HP goes into the equation. Are they full HP? Are they low? In this, another thing that goes into the equation is your teammates. If this is this guy playing like Leona or Nalus, a champ with a really hard CC, easy lockdown, right? If so, this guy's playing hard CC. They're playing immobile champions. They're low. They're pushed. All these things are yes, then it's like more acceptable to skip camps because the gank becomes 80%, right? In this case, I look at bot, they aren't low at all. They are pushing, but not like they're not like crazy pushing. They're not like here, right? They're full HP. Tristana has a W. Thresh has an E. Thresh might have a lantern for the Tristana. He has a Q. So Thresh has two different forms of CC and a lantern. Tristana has a jump that can actually buffer Jarvan EQ. Your Balian Poppy has CC, but it's not like a Nalus or Leon or Alistar. She can't like flash E someone to CC them unless they're hogging a wall, you know? So I see your Balian doesn't have the greatest CC follow up. Their Balian is actually very mobile and very healthy. I look here, nothing tells me, oh yeah, I should skip my camps and gank. Because again, if you decide to skip your camps and gank, it should be for like an 80% chance that it works. If Tristana just holds her W and W's your EQ, this gank is impossible, right? Like what could you like? It looks like it was warded too. And funny enough, if you look at the minimap, you could tell that they ward. Because if you
Yeah,
look,
yeah, it was worth it.
yeah,
Yeah,
right. But if you're watching the minimap,
and
you could see them shift
Poppy
left.
Yeah, Poppy pings question mark on the bush, so I should have realized that.
But even if it's not warded, you understand like this. You can see Thresh um, walking left, right? And this is very
Hmm.
noticeable while you're doing camps. But even if it was not worded, again, let's say, like, how are you ganking this guy? Imagine this guy's here right now. He has W. It's never happening, right? So before we
Yeah,
ever decide to skip camps, everything I said, I know it sounds like a lot, but it really should, you could really dumb it down to, do they have dashes? Are they low? Do we have hard CC? That should be your thought process going to every gank. In this sense, they do have dashes, they aren't low, and we don't have hard CC. So every checkbox that should be used to gank should not be is unchecked here. You know. In this case, now we're just skipping two camps for no reason, and we're just falling behind the curve in jungle. Make sense?
yeah, I got you.
Um, to do this, let's look at top lane. See, this is a better example. Very pushed and low. This one, skipping Krugs to gank this is good, you know? There's a lot of times where it changes. How pushed up are they? How low are they? Are they playing a mobile champion? Darius is a mobile. He has no dashes. He has no speed ups, you know? So every time we go for a gank, these we have to think about these things. W, W. Don't forget, when you gank as Jarvan is you just walk up. and W auto for this because your W slows, and then you'll EQ, and your EQ is going to be higher chance you hit it because they're slow. Here you're blind EQing. It's gonna be just gonna be harder to hit because he's not slowed. But either way, good gank. Kill this base. That was a good gank. And we're playing for a dragon on spawn. Do we see the jungle here? Why do we want to pull dragon? So, where do we see Gwen? Let me go back. So we think he full cleared up. We see Gwen. Okay, we think he full cleared up, and then we see Gwen crossing back into bot side. So she probably also started her bot camp, so she's crossing back to her bot camps. Joey wards us out. No. Anytime, so the rule on objectives is you always want to pull an objective off a clear advantage. An advantage could be anything. It could be um, you are stronger because you have a low advantage. You are stronger because you have an iron advantage. Your laners are stronger. You got a pick, so their mid laner is dead right now, so you can start it because if it's a fight, it's a 3v4 because your mid and bot lane will come, and their mid can't come because their mid's dead, right? So it has to be a clear advantage, either a clear prios, you guys have number advantage, or you're just way stronger than your opponent 1v1. It has to be some sort of clear advantage. Here, I don't really see any clear advantage. You're both level 4. You guys both probably have this around the same items. I know you have a kill on them, but an extra longsword isn't like a big enough advantage to pull an objective off of, right? Um, you don't really have like hard prio. Like lanes are pretty neutral. You have and you have camps up, so I don't really see any reason why we pull this dragon now. It makes way more sense to do wolves and gromp and then pull it because then you'll be level 5, and then maybe by then you'll have prio and lanes. Just feel right. The only time you ever want to skip camps to do dragon is if you just saw him top right now. So, for example, and now it's like, okay, you should do it now because now the dragon's guaranteed because he can't be here, right? But obviously, if you do wolves and gromp, by then he'll be here. By then he'll come. So in this case, the only reason why you skip camps is there's a sense of urgency. Oh, I have to pull it now, or he'll be on his way. You know what I mean? But in this case, you have no idea where he is. You're not much stronger than him. And here again, you see Gwen walking here, and you decide to, I'm gonna fight him. Um, I don't know where you got the confidence to be like, wow, I don't know where you decided, wow, I am so much stronger than Gwen. Because if you press tab, you'll see he has Blasting One Dark Seal, which is 1200 gold in stats, and you have Warhammer Longsword, which is 1050 plus 350, it's 1400. So you only have 200 gold in combat stats on him, which is in league it's effectively nothing. Being 200 gold stronger is like whatever, right? And he's actually level 5 and you're level 4, and I think each level is around 700 gold worth of stats. So you have 200 gold in combat, he has 500 gold in level. He's actually stronger than you. So Gwen's actually stronger than you, and I would consider Zoe a stronger early game champion than Vladimir. So, and you're the one that decided to opt into this. Like, again, right after the dragon, you could just very easily go Gromp and then Wolves and just clear your camps. But you're the one that says, no, I want to fight, and it just feels like ADHD. Like you skipped your Gromp because you wanted to gank bot. You're skipping your Gromp now because you want to fight mid. You just anytime you make any decision to pull a dragon, to gank, to do any sort of combative, aggressive play in League of Legends, it has to be because you have identified some sort of clear advantage. Right? Otherwise, if you just go into fights or go into ganks or go into dragons without clear advantages, that is what it's called. It's just called coin flipping. That's just called half the games you do that you'll win, half the games you do that you lose, and you'll have 50% win rate. You just will not climb. You know. So anything you do anything aggressive, it has to be for a clear reason. Right now, you cannot. If I ask you, could you tell me any clear reason why you want to fight here 2v2, or why you think it's good?
Uh, so at the time, I thought the poppy was way closer because we were in a call, and I wasn't paying attention.
Mm-hmm.
I just tunnel visioned into I'm gonna try and chunk this Gwen, and so that way then we could pull the dragon.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, no, reviewing, I called myself
Okay.
like to skip
Any
it for
any
this, like because this is
you
terrible.
remember
Because
any
I wasn't
reason?
realizing
You remember any reason
that
why you wanted to skip the camps to start dragon? Because fighting because you think Poppy's nearby, that makes sense to me. That's a good logical reason. What about right now with the dragon pull? Do you remember why you wanted to do this?
because I was expecting her to be like topside because I was trying to count her CS because she ended up showing And at first, I assumed that she was going top to bot because I actually forgot to place an early Raptor ward.
Hmm.
And then eventually she shows, and I correct, and I realize, okay, she's probably going to be top here. But then whenever I see her crossing over, I know I can try and play Fog of War, and I don't play it correctly, you know? And really, I probably should have just threw in a Q and then backed off, you know?
I see. All right. And now we clear downwards. But yeah, you see how your instinct is just to skip camps. Like you you still haven't killed Gromp once this game. We're 7 minutes in the game. Your wolves are up. Your Gromp is up, and your mid's wanting to base, and you just do not want to do your bot camps. You want to gank bot. You want to pull dragon. It's just way too much fighting. Um, Very often, they're the two most common like mistakes in like new junglers or just low elo junglers are either is they're the complete opposite side spectrums. So one of them is some junglers full clear way too much and just never gank and leave their team on islands, and then the second one is some junglers just never farm and they just spam gank, and both are bad. If you just perma farm, yeah, you're gonna be up a level or 2 levels, but then your entire map is you're just gonna be losing because everyone's just dying. And the second one here is you're just perma ganking or perma fighting. You're just gonna be down 2 levels naturally because you're just not farming your camp. Still, we're in 8 minutes in the game. You have not killed Gromp once this game. You have to understand that 3 camps to 4 camps in jungle is a full level. Camp spawn every 2 minutes and 15 seconds. I'll show you an example. Let's see when the first time you kill your Gromp. I'll skip all this just to show you how this math works. Okay, you kill Gromp for the first time at 10 minutes, 10 flat, perfect. This makes the math really easy. So every camp spawns in the game at 1:30. Let's say you started blue and you do Gromp at 1:40, right? Sorry, like let's say you kill Gromp at 2 minutes. We'll make it really easy. Let's say you kill your first Gromp at 2 minutes. It's gonna respawn at 4:15. Then after you kill it on spawn, it's gonna respawn at 6:30. Then it's gonna respawn at 8:45. Then the next one's gonna respawn at 11 minutes, right? So if you, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In 11 minutes in the game, you could kill 5 Gromps. That's 600 gold. That's a level and a quarter, right? In just one camp. Um, because you never killed it, you've taken all this away from yourself. You know, you've taken away 600
Yeah.
gold by killing it now, because obviously all these times you couldn't cycle it. So all these times you go for a gank just for the chance of getting a kill. This is 2 kills that you just missed out on. You know, so that's why it's like skipping camps is like that's why you only want to skip camps is for if it's for a guaranteed gank, a guaranteed dragon. But if it's for like these 50-50 flips, maybe we kill them, maybe we don't. You're just trading guaranteed gold, which is camps, for non-guaranteed gold, which is kills. You know what I mean? And in League, it's always if you're gonna play 1,000 games in the long run, you're gonna climb more by just going for guaranteed plays, guaranteed gold, guaranteed XP, which is camps. Makes sense. So you're just hemorrhaging so much gold constantly.
Yeah,
Here,
my pre-game plan was realizing Tristana Thresh is hard to gank, and then for just whatever reason, I just decided to try.
mm,
Lately, I've been full clearing, and then everybody's just like just your entire team is just telling you that you're AFK, have no impact and stuff. So I've also been trying to like play off of lock camera and fix my Jarvan build. So I was kind of like
yeah,
I don't know. I just didn't follow my pregame plan of just because I realized and I said to myself this is going to be a snooze fest. You know, that's why I started Raptors this game, in
hmm
fact,
hmm
to just get more camps, you know.
yeah. You have to commit to your plan because it sounds like you went to the plan with wanting to farm more and then you just ignored it, right? Because even again, same I can
Yeah.
say the same thing here. You have 4 camps up. You have 450 gold on the map right here, and you're going for a 300 gold maybe, which is you're literally going for less gold, which is and it's obviously way riskier because here you just die and don't even get the kill, you know.
Yeah.
And just
And I saw the Gwen and she's level 6, so I just realized she's stronger.
exactly. You have to understand. I know you're just playing silver right now, but once you get to higher ranks, which is you also you don't want to just play to win in the current rank. You want to play to get better. So if you once you do climb, you can actually succeed in the higher ranks. Versus better players, all the times you're skipping camps, the better players will press tab, recognize you're skipping camps because they'll see your CS and they'll take them. So not only are you not only skipping, are you just skipping camps, but you're also leaving them up for the enemies to take. And if they take them, you're gonna be down like the fact you're same level right now is just because the enemy jungle is terrible. If the enemy jungle is good, you'd be down level and a half, 2 levels, because he would be just taking all these camps that you're skipping. You understand?
Yeah.
And it's just gonna be even. You're already behind
Can
this
you
game.
rewind a little bit
Yeah,
at
sure.
in-game time 10:19?
Perfect. Yeah, sounds good.
Is it a should I go bot here or is it correct to go top to
Uh,
take my camps? Because bot's fighting right
the
now, so
correct answer is to not even open through bot. I was gonna mention this, but I didn't feel like it. If you want to path the bot because the grubs are gone, you want to play for the bot side objective, then you'd be clear downward. Do Krugs, Raptors, Wolves, Blue Gromp, and then you end your clear. You want to end your clear in the lane that's fighting or in the lane that you can impact. I think it's safe to say you're never
mhm.
impacting Malphite Darius lane because who cares about getting golden Malphite, right? Bot lane is
Yeah,
the lane you
exactly.
want to
Because
get on.
Malphite just
So you
wants to
always
farm
want to
up.
clear your finish your clear towards the lane you're playing towards, which is bot lane in this case. So you just clear downwards. But when you open your bot camps, your path is going to naturally look upwards, right? So you'd want to just do this, and then you finish your clear bots. Then
So at should I just have reset then
mm,
after because the Zoe was rotating down and then I chunk her. Should I have reset and then gone top or
I
is
mean,
walking top
I
fine?
I mean, two things. I mean, you should be more patient with your E. I think if you wait, you could just EQ this guy and even potentially kill him. Because if you EQ him and then ult him, Vladimir's on his way. I think this guy's even now. I think you should ult him because um, Vladimir's on his way. This is 2v1. You don't see the enemy jungle here, you know. So at this point, you should still you should commit to this honestly, because he's an immobile champion. He has no way to. He's not playing like Ezreal. He can't jump out of your ult, right? So I think at that point you just ult him as 2v1. That guy can die. And then at this point, yeah, I think here if you want to base, you can just because you have Eclipse, and Eclipse is a really really big power spike for Jarvan. So here you could base, and then do like Crux Raptors to bot, or you could base, and as you're walking in base, the bot's like a mega fighting, you could just say fuck it and run bot if you think there's like an insanely high chance that they're gonna fight to the death and they need you. Otherwise, you just clear downwards normally.
Okay.
Yeah, if you have any other timestamps, please let me know. Timestamps are really OP for VOD reviews. I would say that here though, you have to immediately base. Yeah, I don't think you're recognizing how big of a price play Eclipse is. When Jarvan finishes Eclipse, his champion changes. He becomes like his it's like doubles his damage, you know.
Mhm.
And like and the difference from like basing and running to Dragon, this is like the same. I mean, you could look at lines. They're the exact same distance from top to
Yeah,
Dragon to thing
yeah,
to Dragon, but it's also you're just getting it you're just gonna be able to
stronger.
buy a way stronger item, yeah. Because I think you would be here slightly slower because it takes 8 seconds to recall, but instead of being here, you'd be like maybe here, you know. So it's pretty close. But I think I'd rather be 3 seconds late and stronger than 3 seconds early and weaker. You know, a lot of times.
Yeah, yeah, we probably would have won this fight if I had Eclipse, honestly.
Yeah, potentially.
Maybe. Yeah.
You definitely would
And
have won this
then
fight if you have this eclipse, and you did, and not having to base, and you definitely would have had it if you didn't skip all those camps earlier in the game. You know,
yeah, yeah.
and you'd be level 9. Cause it's definitely fake. People think that you have to choose uh
Uh-huh.
high pressure. I mean, like high presence on the map and farming, or like people think like, oh, if you're farming, you're not gonna be ganking at all. But I've been like, I don't know, I've
Yeah.
been streaming every day, and so you can ask people in chat who've been watching me like tax. It's very common where you could have high kill participation and still have like the highest CS in the game. Like you could always sneak farm in. A lot of times people just waste time
Mhm.
like randomly sitting in bushes or looking for ganks that are wasted or walking from like like it's like you just have to have no waste of time and just full clear gank, full clear gank, full clear gank, and there's still gank at the end of that full clear. You just have to. There's no point to gank if you're useless. You have to make sure you're strong, which is farming. So that when you show up to the lanes, you don't have to even rely on your teammates to do damage. You could be all the damage you need. You know. Because when you're weak like
Mhm.
this, now you're like for this gank to work. Now you're forced to rely on Ash's damage, right? But if you showed up here with an extra tunneler and longsword, like the two starter components, you don't even need ashes.
Yeah,
You could
yeah.
look at 2v1 this guys. Ash is just here to support you, right? But when you're this
Yeah.
slow because you starve yourself, now it's like the only way we win this is if like Ash is like
Yeah, no, and I
pumping some
wasn't trusting this
damage.
Ash because she was holding onto her ult and was just like AFK. Like
Hmm.
but also though, here I went Raptors and then down because my Krugs were still on cooldown.
Hmm.
Was it correct to do that, or should I just walk up and clear the Krugs and wait for red and then go down? It was at
No, I think this is fine.
13:11. But okay.
Yeah, I think this is fine. I think Raptors and clearing down is very normal here. It's too
Okay.
awkward to go. It's too much waste of time to go like this.
Hmm.
Boom, boom. It's like so you see how much extra movement that is.
Yeah.
Jungle, it's very simple. jungle, it's actually like you just want straight lines. You want like Gromp, Wolves, Raptors, Krugs like this. You want Krugs, Raptors, Wolves, Gromp. It's like these nice straight lines. You don't want things like Wolves, Gromp, Raptors. Raptors, Krugs, Wolves. You don't want this like weird V shape because it's just you're wasting so much walking time with this stuff. Let me skip forward to some team fights. I think this is it for the early game. But if you have any time slips, let me know specific things you want to look at. I'll just because I think for the
Yeah.
early game,
1550.
yeah, perfect.
I think
15,
I get
15.
pushed away from
Okay, let's watch
the
this.
Herald,
Mm-hmm.
and then I just go clear my bot side. But is it more correct to go and Gwen's top as well? But is it to go try and steal camps
Yeah,
or just take
going to his Raptors.
my
Going to his Raptors. Anytime the enemy jungle is doing a top play, you should look to do a bot
uh-huh.
play. It's either Dragon,
Uh-huh.
bot gank, or bot
Okay.
camps. Same thing if they're ever doing a bot gank, you see the
Yeah.
enemy jungle bot, you should be doing his top camps, top gank, or top objective. It's either
What I was thinking
so in
would
this case.
change this situation
Mhm.
is that since the enemy bot lane is pushed up, it makes it questionable whether or not I should invade here, you know?
I mean, have you ever seen a Tristana? This Tristana is ahead. She wants to
No,
kill them
no, yeah, no. If
and
it
flick her
was like
plates. Do you think this
a
guy's gonna run to
bard or
Raptors?
something,
A Bard, I mean, yeah, but then
yeah.
that's good for your bot lane because now your bot lane is losing 2v2, correct?
Hmm.
If Bard's roaming to the Raptors, now they're gonna win 2v1, correct?
Yeah, yeah.
So it's still plus. If Bard's roaming from here to there, this is still good for your bot lane because now they, instead of being fucking pressured under a tower and they can't breathe and they're losing plates, now they're gonna be the ones pressuring the Tristana. So it's still good to do.
Hmm.
And also we can't imagine that every game they have God vision of us, that they see us walking in. That's unrealistic.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm just sitting on a lot of money. You have full sundered in inventory. You have a full second item. It's just too much money to sit on. That's all this is. Yeah, you had full sundered. So anytime you have your like item component, you really gotta look to base. The game looks pretty hard from this point on. They're up to dragons, they're up to towers, they're up grubs. It's a pretty hard game. Just going to try to watch some team fights because I think the early game is
Yeah.
done.
Here I completely misunderstood Fog of War, like where I was standing. I thought they didn't see me, but they do.
Yeah, it's okay. It's a small mistake. Happens. Yeah, I do think this game is pretty. I mean, every game is like winnable, but like this game is probably at this point it's pretty cooked.
Yeah, yeah. I starved myself basically in the early game. Like, um, afterwards, I realized that my Vlad was first timing Vlad, and my Ashe is not even an ADC. She was like second timing Ashe. But I counted up so many mistakes that I was like, no, I put myself behind. I starved myself in the early game, you know. So also here, what's better, going Maw or Spirit Visage? Hello? Hello?
Looks like he stepped away if it's just playing like that.
Ah,
Um, yeah, but at this point, the game is pretty rough. I think it's just, especially as Jarvan, you really want to snowball the early game. Jarvan's not like a scaling jungle, especially versus Gwen. Like Gwen is a scaling jungle, so when you get outpaced in the early game, by chance that strong in the late game. It's really you're kind of playing on the back foot and just hoping they mess up. You're the champ. You're the guy who should be forcing early dragons versus him and forcing early grubs versus him, and then even invading him. But when you get far behind, you're not going to be strong enough to even when your 1v1s are not able to do that.
I didn't. I had to reconnect and disconnect. I wasn't able to hear you for a minute.
Oh.
What did you say though for build? What's better, Maul or
Oh.
Visage?
I was saying that it depends if you need more damage or more tankiness. Like if you think your team is like damage lacking, and you need to be the one doing damage, then you can go Ma. If you think your team is like doing enough damage, and you just need to be a frontline, then you'd go Visage. It's like preference on that. So I think, and the
Okay.
thing in this case, because your team is more behind, then I think you could go Ma.
Okay.
But it varies. Most of the time, Jarvans will go Visage. But I think in this case, your team not only is your team the draft is pretty low damage, but also they're behind. So I'm trying to see if I can review any team fights, but it looks like there's no team fights happening, just random skirmishes. Do you have any other notes or timestamp you wrote down? Or is that it you had?
No, that's about it. Yeah,
Yeah,
everything else.
yeah. It looks like there's no team fights. You guys just start crumbling, and everyone randomly gets caught and dies. So yeah, no, I think it's just early game. I think you're skipping way too many camps, and you're starving yourself, and you're just losing opportunities that we can't. There's like opportunities that normally would pop up for someone because you're kind of at the wrong place at the wrong time. These opportunities don't present themselves. Like let's say before you didn't like it's imaginary round. But let's say before you didn't skip your camps, so you'd have a stronger item. So your camps would be that you'd be killing your camps faster instead of being a Rapture out. You'd be finishing your Grump right now. And if you're on Grump right now, as this is happening, you could just walk over here, EQ this Gwen, kill this guy, get first dragon. Like it's a lot of like imaginary things that could happen if you don't fall behind earlier. Because think about it this way: you have 32 CS at 7 minutes, right? You have to understand a full clear is 28 CS, and people full clear at 3:30. That's the normal standard. And at 7 minutes, you have one extra camp. So, uh, like normally you'd already kill all these camps, be on Gromp right now. Gwen face checks Poppy, gets slammed to the wall. Boom, you're here. You kill Gwen. You probably kill Tristana as well. Boom, we get first dragon. This game snowballs and can look entirely different. But because of all the time we wasted earlier and how slow we are on the map, these potential good fights just never present themselves. Does that make sense? It's just like a huge domino effect. That because we're slow before, we're late to this play, and then because we're late to this play, we're late to the next good play, right? And we're always just on the back foot trying to catch up. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So you just have to avoid falling behind from the start. So, all right. Any questions on anything?